On the eve of my proposal, my girlfriend Anna broke up with me. It was like falling off a cliff. I begged her to debase myself, but she blocked me on everything. I lost 20 pounds, my depression spiraling until I found myself on a rooftop late one night. It wasn't until my best friend Leo shoved a phone in my face, showing me a viral Reddit post, that I understood. The title read, "I'm falling for my masseuse at the spa, and it's purely physical, but I have a boyfriend of 7 years. What do I do?" The post included a photo of a bracelet, a custom piece I had given Anna for our 7th anniversary. I dragged my exhausted body home to find our apartment stripped bare. Anna had taken everything. Her only message was a single text on iMessage. "This isn't working. We're done." I was completely stunned. I called her again and again, obsessively. On the 78th call, she finally picked up. Her voice, usually so sweet and melodic, was now ice. "Can you just stop calling? I already told you. It's not working. We're over." I clutched the phone, terrified she'd hang up. "Why? I thought we were fine. Just a few days ago." Anna had wrapped her arms around me from behind. "Noah," she'd whispered, "I want to get married." I always indulged her little whims, so I turned and held her. "Okay," I said, "let's get married." It wasn't a casual promise. Even though my startup was consuming my life, I was already secretly planning the proposal. A girl shouldn't have to be the one to ask. That was my job, my responsibility. On the phone, Anna was silent. Her silence was an answer, cold and absolute. My voice choked as I tried to remind her of our history. 10 years of knowing each other, 7 years as a couple. Tears I hadn't shed in years streamed down my face. "Stop it," she said flatly. "You're just annoying me. And I hate it when men cry in front of me. I really hate it." I froze. The line went dead. My eyes burning. I typed out long, desperate texts, recounting our beautiful past, the future we had planned where I'd be the provider and she could pursue whatever made her happy. The screen was a sea of green message bubbles, with not a single reply from her. I scrambled to figure out what went wrong. Had I been too busy with work, neglecting her? Was she tired of waiting for a proposal I hadn't delivered? Had her sense of security vanished? In a panic, I took pictures of the deed to my condo and my bank statements, sending them to her. I proposed to her right there, over text, promising to sign the condo over to her. Every word was a humiliating plea. I had no pride left. Hours and countless messages later, she finally replied, "You're making this so annoying. Stop texting me. I'm blocking you." The next message I sent was met with a red exclamation point. It wasn't just my number. She had blocked me on every social media account, every email address. She had completely cut me off. Leo was shocked when he saw me. I hadn't shaved in days, my face was gaunt. I never looked so wrecked. Hearing that Anna had been acting completely normal the day before the breakup, cuddling and saying goodnight, Leo exploded. "Dude, that's a textbook blindside breakup. 100% she's got some other guy." He insisted she had cheated. I shook my head violently. "No way. She's not like that." Anna had been the one to pursue me. She loved me. She used to call me her hero, always looking at me with stars in her eyes. I'd never seen her be flirty with any other man. Leo just scoffed. "You're too naive, man. A classic good guy. You have no idea how women really work." Leo was handsome, roguish, a player with an endless list of ex-girlfriends. He was an expert in the field, but I stubbornly believed he didn't understand what Anna and I had. I asked Leo to call her. I had already reached out to all our mutual friends, begging them to mediate or just get her to see me. They all awkwardly told me the same thing. Anna had specifically told them not to give me any information about her. She was determined to sever all ties, ruthlessly cutting me out without an explanation or a transition period. Leo used a different number, and she answered. A flicker of hope ignited in me, but it was quickly extinguished by the grim look on Leo's face as he hung up. He saw my devastated expression and hesitated to speak. But I had heard Anna's voice clearly through the phone. She'd said if he called again, she'd change her number. She also said I wasn't a real man, that I was clingy, pathetic, and couldn't let go. I never imagined she could say such things about me, just as I never imagined she would leave. And I truly couldn't let her go. I fell into a spiral of self-doubt, replaying our entire relationship in my head. Was it my fault? Was I not successful enough? Had I failed to give her a life of comfort? Or was it my lack of attention, pouring all my energy into the startup, letting her disappointments build until she couldn't turn back? I spent my days searching for her, trying every possible way to see her, to beg her in person to come back. But she evaded me at every turn, vanishing from my life completely. I lost my appetite, the weight fell off me, and I spent my nights tossing and turning, unable to sleep. I abandoned my fledgling company, dumping everything on Leo. Until one night, after downing a whole bottle of whiskey, I walked up to the roof. As I stood on the edge, Leo tackled me from behind, pulling me back from the brink. His eyes were red as he slapped my face, cursing at me. The shock of the near-death experience sobered me up. Leo opened his phone and showed me the Reddit post. "Read this," he ordered. "I'm falling for my masseuse at the spa, and it's purely physical, but I have a boyfriend of 7 years. What do I do?" I clicked on the thread, confused. The comments were a mix of people trying to talk sense into her and others debating what purely physical attraction felt like. It was a chaotic discussion. Then I saw the attached photo. I zoomed in and saw the engraving on the bracelet. NA 7th. It was the one I had custom-made for our anniversary, with our initials. A roar filled my ears, and a chill spread through my entire body. This was Anna's post. What did she mean, purely physical attraction? Leo, unable to watch my pain, turned away and muttered, "Purely physical, my ass. It's just being a slut." So what was it with you? Purely physical repulsion? Bullshit. I forced myself to calm down and read the post. She described going to a high-end spa for reflexology by chance. The therapist was a young newcomer with a short, simple haircut and a clean, fresh aura that captivated her. She found herself going back again and again, tipping him generously, talking with him. He felt different, she wrote. She was falling for him, a physical attraction she couldn't control, something she'd never felt with her boyfriend. She rationalized that he was only a masseuse because his family was poor, that it was his circumstances, not his fault. She was planning to find him a real job, especially since other female clients were interested in him, which made her jealous. The post detailed their dates and meetings. I mechanically scrolled through my old iMessage history with Anna. The dates and times she said she was out with friends matched the timeline in the post perfectly. Anna came from a well-off family. She had never held a job after college. I had always supported her. Leo, with his wide network, had somehow found this post. The bracelet was undeniable proof. Anna had cheated, but I still couldn't believe it. I needed to see it with my own eyes. Otherwise, I wouldn't accept a word of it. I begged Leo. He had found the post. He must know where she was living now. I wouldn't find peace until I saw it for myself. Leo grabbed my arm, his expression pained. "Noah, there's something I didn't tell you. I was afraid it would break you. 3 days after you two broke up, Anna made her new relationship official on Facebook. I felt a sharp pain in my stomach and coughed up blood. Leo rushed me to the hospital. The diagnosis was a bleeding ulcer. Not only that, but the doctor, seeing my ghastly complexion and bloodshot eyes, and after hearing the story, suggested Leo take me to the psychiatric department. The second diagnosis was just as grim, moderate depression. After my 4-drip was finished, Leo was walking me down the hospital corridor when we saw Anna run in with a young man. "Doctor, my boyfriend cut his hand by accident. Please help him." Seeing her after so long, I couldn't help but call out her name. "Anna." She saw me, but her eyes slid right past me as if I were a stranger. She rushed towards the emergency room, fussing over the man's injured hand, her brow furrowed with worry. "It's just a small cut. It's not a big deal." "Why are you so worked up?" the doctor said, looking at the tiny 2-centimeter scratch with exasperation. "See? The doctor said it's nothing. Look at you. So tense you had to come to a major downtown hospital," the man said, stroking her hair affectionately. "No," Anna said, her eyes red as she cradled his hand. "You got hurt making dinner for me. You don't care about yourself, but I do. I'd rather it was me who got hurt." The man pulled her into his arms, wrapping an arm around her slim waist. They were a picture of sweet intimacy. This had to be him, the purely physical Masseuse. With his neat buzz cut and youthful, 20-year-old energy, he did have a clean, fresh look. They looked good together. But Anna and I had once been the couple everyone envied. In college, I was the quiet, top-of-the-class student, and she was the beautiful, outgoing prom queen. She would invent questions just to have an excuse to talk to me, making me blush every time. At our graduation ceremony, she presented me with a bouquet of roses and asked me to be her boyfriend in front of everyone. The applause was deafening. I took the flowers, and we started our life together. She had once gotten into a small car accident rushing to be by my side late at night. I was barely scratched, but she held me and sobbed, terrified of losing me. Now, I was watching her give that same love to someone else. My eyes burned, and my heart felt like it was being sawed apart by a dull knife. Leo couldn't stand it. He walked right over to them. Anna, Noah is in a really bad way. The doctor says he's suicidal because of how you blindsided him. If you have any decency left, any memory of your years together, please help him with his therapy. It would make a difference. Please. The therapist had indeed said that if the breakup was the cause, having Anna participate in a few sessions could help my recovery. Leo, who was usually so hot-tempered, was now pleading with her for my sake. Anna's gaze finally landed on me. A faint, desperate hope flickered within me. Seeing me like this, did she feel a little guilty? Would she agree to help? Could this be a chance for us to reconcile? Anna let out a cold laugh. Noah, we are over. Can you stop being so pathetic? Using suicide as an excuse to get my attention. I can't believe you'd stoop that low. Leo was instantly enraged. Excuse? Who would use that as an excuse? You cheated, dumped him, and you have the nerve to act like the victim? You think you're so special, but you're just trash. Stung by his words, Anna turned her fury on me. Noah, for God's sake, have some self-respect. Stop being a pathetic, clingy bug. So this is your new tactic? Getting your friend to insult me? Is that supposed to work? I was sick of you. I have zero feelings for you. Even if you died, I wouldn't spare you a second glance. Her words were like a whip, lashing my soul. I started to laugh. Hearing such venom from the person I had loved more than life itself left me feeling hollowed out, a desolate wasteland inside. I laughed until tears streamed down my face. I stopped Leo, who was about to explode, and let Anna and her new boyfriend walk away, wrapped in their own world. The person I once considered my life was now, irrevocably, a stranger. You're still defending her? Leo said, his voice a mixture of anger and frustration. You have such a bright future. How can you let one woman destroy you? Wake up, man. He looked at me with exasperation, but in his other hand, he was still holding my prescription. The antidepressants. I had refused to take them, throwing them in the trash. Leo had gone back to the doctor to get a new prescription. Suddenly, as if waking from a long nightmare, I realized my life was just beginning. I had to get out of this. I had to live. I took the bag of medication from his hand. I started taking it as prescribed, eating properly. The weight came back. I spent my free time at the gym, channeling my pain into sweat. I threw myself back into my startup. Leo was thrilled. If you hadn't snapped out of it, I was about to dissolve the company, he said. I worked relentlessly, but my mood improved with each passing day. The hard work paid off. The company started turning a profit. A friend, needing a favor, voluntarily gave me an update on Anna. She and her new boyfriend, Ethan, were living together. They had to be shown frise. Anna's Facebook was filled with pictures of the gourmet meals Ethan cooked for her and photos from their trips. To help Ethan avoid judgment, Anna had her father arrange a good job for him. They seemed incredibly happy. We used to be that happy, the couple all our friends envied. Even though I thought I was prepared, hearing about her new life still felt like a punch to the gut. The self-doubt returned. If you compared us, looks, career, education, I was better than Ethan in every way. Yet I had lost completely because Anna chose him. She chose to build a future with him. Leo and my other friends tried to set me up with different girls. I was decent looking, my career was taking off, and there was no shortage of women interested in me. But none of them sparked anything. My sense of security was gone, lost with Anna. Her sudden departure and betrayal had shattered my ability to trust any woman. I felt like I had lost the capacity to love. On my birthday that year, I finally blocked Anna's number and all her profiles. I was done waiting for any news of her. A year after I blocked her, I attended a college reunion at the persistent invitation of our old professor and several classmates. I was now the CEO of my own company, a Mr. Big Shot to my former peers. Classmates kept coming over to toast me, and I smiled and chatted with them. Out of the corner of my eye, I felt a persistent gaze. I turned slightly and saw Anna, standing at a distance. Enough time had passed that I could face her calmly. I met her eyes and gave a slight nod of acknowledgement. She, however, seemed to get visibly flustered. After a few drinks, the conversations grew bolder. "Wow, Anna, you're still as beautiful as ever," someone said. Another chimed in, "And Noah, you were the valedictorian, and now you're the most successful among us." It's no surprise. Yeah, I remember when you two announced you were dating at graduation. It was legendary on campus for years. The perfect couple, straight out of movie. It's a shame we never got to attend your wedding. But hey, Noah's still single, right? Maybe there's still a chance. I cut them off. That was a long time ago. No need to bring up old stuff. But the topic had already caught fire. A female classmate pushed Anna towards me. "You two still look so perfect together after all these years." I tried to change the subject politely. "Let's not talk about the past. It's just a joke." But Anna raised a glass to me. "Noah, it's been a long time. How have you been?" "Very well," I replied. Her eyes were fixed on me as she said softly, "I'm single now, too." The table erupted in cheers and whistles. After the party, several female classmates urged me to give Anna a ride home. "It's not on my way," I said simply, and as soon as my driver pulled up, I left without a second glance. I thought that would be the end of it. But that night, a friend request from Anna popped up on my phone. I smiled faintly and swiped it away. To my surprise, she started appearing wherever I went. A chance encounter outside my office building, a coincidence at a restaurant. I was an adult. I knew what she was doing. But my cold shoulder didn't deter her. "What do you want?" This time, she was waiting downstairs in my condo building. I had no idea how she got in. Under the harsh sun, her face was flushed. She must have been waiting for a long time. "Noah," she asked tentatively, "can we start over?" Her eyes were wide and pleading, just as beautiful as I remembered. I had to laugh. I had once wanted to beg her for the same thing, but she never even gave me the chance. From the moment she started showing up, I had looked into her current situation. She and Ethan had broken up a year ago. It wasn't amicable. With her father's help, Ethan had gotten a decent corporate job, but without a degree, he was completely out of his depth. He eventually quit and went back to being a masseuse at the spa. Anna's dream of elevating him had shattered. Not one to give up, she took money from her family to help him open a shop. It failed spectacularly. Meanwhile, her father had an affair, and the other woman gave him a son. Her parents' marriage imploded, and Anna could no longer rely on them financially. Perhaps without that economic foundation, her purely physical attraction to Ethan began to fade. "I was wrong before," she said, her voice soft. "Can you give me a chance to make it up to you? I'll show you how sincere I am. You used to say I was the most important person in your life. You were so good to me. You're still single. It must be because of me, right? Can we please start over?" She watched me nervously, her knuckles white from clenching her fists, a mirror of the desperate man I once was. She was right. I was still single because of her, because I had lost my ability to trust and love to love again. I couldn't let this opportunity pass. I couldn't just let it go. I decided to get back together with Anna. When Leo heard the news, he went ballistic. "Are there no other women in the world? You have to go back to her? Have you forgotten everything? She almost killed you. She's only back now because you're successful, because you have money. It's about your money, don't you get it?" He slammed his coffee cup on the table, furious with me. "I get it," I said calmly. "And I haven't forgotten. I'm just not willing to be the only one who got hurt. The one who tied the bell must be the one to untie it." I couldn't move on without her. We had been back together for 3 months. I had consistently rejected Anna's suggestions that she move in with me. She was disappointed, but agreed quite chowed up. Noah, when are you getting off work? You haven't answered my calls. Is something wrong? Still at the office? I made some soup. I can bring it over. After a dinner meeting with a client, I saw several texts from Anna. In our conversations, she was always the one initiating, while my replies were brief. My excuse was always that I was busy. Perhaps out of guilt, Anna was always accommodating, incredibly understanding. I called her back. Her voice was bright with relief. It's okay, work is important. Are you done now? You must be hungry. I can pick you up, and we can get a late dinner. How about that Cantonese place we used to love? Forget it, I said flatly. I'm tired. I just want to go home and sleep. She paused, then said, Okay, you go home and get some rest. We'll have breakfast together tomorrow. Make sure you eat on time, okay? It's good for you. I gritted my teeth through her rambling, said a quick, okay, and hung up. Then I called Leo. I'm done. Come pick me up for dinner. The place we went, of course, was my favorite Cantonese restaurant. On the way, Anna texted me. Are you home safe? Noah, I'm sorry. I know I'm being a little clingy. Please don't be annoyed with me. That sentence felt like it came from another lifetime. 3 years ago, her stop texting me. I'm blocking you had been seared into my memory. Now, she was the one carefully begging me not to be annoyed. Was this even the same person? I gave a cynical laugh and put my phone down without replying. One day, while Anna was on the phone with me as I drove home, a car swerved aggressively into my lane. My driver couldn't react in time, and we crashed. My phone flew out of my hand. As I was getting a cut on my head treated at the hospital, Anna burst in. Her eyes filled with tears as she looked at my wound, her expression one of extreme distress. She grabbed my hands, her voice trembling. Noah, I was yelling your name into the phone, and you didn't answer. I was so scared. I thought I was going to lose you. I'm never leaving you again. Don't you leave me either. She collapsed against me, sobbing. It reminded me of years ago, after my other car accident, when she had held me and cried just like this. Her worry and fear seemed genuine. Her eyes were filled with such warmth that any bystander would have been moved. I found myself putting a hand on her back, patting it gently to comfort her. What a coincidence. I recognized the treatment room. It was the same one where Anna had brought Ethan for his cut hand 3 years ago. She had worn the same worried expression then, but for another man. It was here that she had called me a pathetic bug, a man with no self-respect who was pathetically clinging to her. This hospital was also where I had been treated for the depression she had caused. When she found out back then that I was depressed and suicidal, what had she said? Even if you died, I wouldn't spare you a second glance. Watching her run off to get my prescription and pay the bill, I told myself clearly, do not forgive her. Obsessed with my injury, Anna brought me meals every day and insisted on picking me up from work, no matter how late. If she had to wait too long downstairs, she would come up to my office. She found me saying goodbye to Chloe. Chloe was almost my girlfriend. She was beautiful, managed her family's enterprise, and was what everyone would call a great catch. We met through a business collaboration, and our obvious chemistry led many people to push us together. At the time, of course, I wasn't in the right headspace. As we got to know each other, I saw a certain look in Chloe's eyes, but she was a proud person. After I clearly defined our relationship as just friends, she became a valued business partner and a casual acquaintance on social media. She later moved out of state to expand her business. It had been a year since we'd last seen each other. When she heard I'd gotten back together with my ex, she was stunned for a moment. The word congratulations came out of her mouth with great difficulty. I tried to break the awkward silence. You're back for good this time, right? I remember you said Seattle was your favorite city. She looked at me. You love a city because someone lives there, right? I was planning on staying, but now, maybe it's better to be far away. It was rare to hear her speak so emotionally, so sadly. I felt a strange pang of guilt. Seeing my hesitation, she laughed it off. Hey, I'm just kidding. The company out there needs me. I have to go back. Chloe stood up and shook my hand to say goodbye. I said a quiet goodbye. But Chloe let go of my hand, stepped forward, and hugged me tightly. The intimate gesture caught me off guard. She buried her head in my chest, holding on for a long moment. As an adult, I understood what she meant. We were a classic case of bad timing. Just then, Anna walked in. "Noah," she gasped. Chloe released me, turned, and saw Anna. Noticing the lunchbox in Anna's hand, she understood this was the ex-girlfriend I'd reconciled with. With a look of quiet resignation, she nodded a brief farewell. Anna walked over and took my hand, a clear display of ownership. I pulled my hand away and walked Chloe to the elevator. On the way home, Anna finally broke the silence. "Who is she?" I stared out the window, perfectly calm, showing none of the panic of a man caught cheating. "A former business partner." She swerved to the side of the road and stopped the car, turning to me with agitation. "But she hugged you. How can you be just business partners? There's obviously something going on between you two." I crossed my arms, non-committal. I expected a huge fight, a storm of accusations. Instead, after a moment, her eyes reddened, and she looked at me pitifully. "Can you just not see her anymore? You might think it's nothing, but the way she looks at you isn't innocent. I'm a woman." I know. Her submissiveness was surprising. Just then, the car's display screen lit up with an incoming call. The caller ID read, "Ethan." I smirked. Anna fumbled to reject the call, then turned to me, desperate to explain. "Noah, don't be mad. We broke up a long time ago. We haven't seen each other since. I swear, I have no contact with him. If it bothers you, I'll delete his number right now." I looked back at her. Had I lost all trust in her? I couldn't believe a single word she said. The screen lit up again. Ethan was calling back. She looked even more panicked and reached to hang up again. "Answer it," I said. "What if it's important?" Under my steady gaze, Anna accepted the call. "Anna, I'm downstairs at your place. I miss you. I need to see you." Ethan's low voice came through the speakers. Anna looked at my face in terror, then snapped into the phone. "We broke up a long time ago. I have a boyfriend now. Stop bothering me." She hung up before he could reply. After the call, Anna frantically tried to explain that she had nothing to do with Ethan. "I broke up with him because I caught him on a date with some rich older woman. I would never get involved with someone like that, who's always looking for the next best thing." Her explanations were just noise to me. "It's fine," I said lightly. But my indifferent attitude seemed to crush her. "Noah, you've changed," she said, her eyes filled with sorrow. "You're so cold to me. Back in school, you used to get jealous if another guy even called me. Even if you didn't say it, I knew you were angry. And no matter how busy you were, you always cared. You called back right away, replied my texts instantly. You don't do that anymore. I didn't get back with you for your money, no matter what anyone else thinks. I came back because I realized you were the best person for me. You're the one I love. That's why I wanted to start over." Leo had never been anything but hostile to Anna, once openly mocking her for coming back to me now that I was rich. I'd thought the same thing. But now she was claiming it was because she loved me. How ironic. "I don't remember the past," I said, my voice devoid of emotion. Anna's face fell, but she reached for my hand, her grip firm. "I remember everything. No matter what, I'll do my best to make it up to you. I believe we can be like we were before." I pulled my hand away. The whole thing was starting to bore me. One day, she picked me up from work and announced she was taking me somewhere, driving off before I could refuse. We ended up at the apartment building where we used to live together. She led me up to the rooftop. The space was decorated with countless roses and fairy lights. I looked up to see drones forming hearts and roses in the sky. A crowd of people emerged, some friends, some old classmates I hadn't seen in years. I had no idea how Anna had gathered them all here. They were all cheering, chanting, "Get together! Get together!" The final drone formation spelled out, "Noah, will you marry me?" Anna walked to the center of the display, holding a microphone, and looked at me with deep emotion. "Noah, we met when we were 15. It's been 13 years. A person doesn't get many 13-year periods in their life. I want to spend all my future ones with you. Forever. So, I'm asking you to marry me. Noah, will you marry me?" With that, Anna knelt on one knee, pulled a small box from her pocket, opened it, and held it up to me. Inside was a ring. What a warm, romantic proposal. If she hadn't blindsided me 3 years ago, I would have been the one planning an even grander proposal for her. The main characters were the same, but everything had changed. She thought that by bringing our friends here, I'd be too concerned with saving face to say no. She thought I still loved her, that she could lock me down with marriage. How ridiculous. I just wanted to even the score. She had toyed with my pride and my heart. Now, it was my turn to toy with hers. It was only fair. I looked at Anna, holding the ring with a hopeful expression, and said, slowly and clearly, "This isn't working. We're done." A wave of shock went through the crowd. Tears welled up in Anna's eyes. She stood up, her voice choked with sobs. "Why?" I took the microphone from her, not looking at her, but addressing our stunned friends and classmates. 3 years ago, Anna broke up with me out of the blue and blocked me on everything. 3 days later, she had a new boyfriend on her Facebook. She could have just told me she'd found someone else, someone she had a physical attraction to. We could have had a clean break. But she didn't. I spent years not knowing what I did wrong. I fell into a deep depression. One night, I came up to this very rooftop, intending to jump. For 3 years, I doubted myself, unable to trust and love again, which is why I've been single. I originally got back with her because I wanted to understand what was so wrong with me. But now I know. It wasn't me. And now, because I'm doing well again, Anna has chosen to come back to me. Some of the people there knew we had broken up, others didn't. Now they all knew the full story. I turned and walked away, hearing Anna's heart-wrenching scream behind me. No, that night, Anna called and texted me relentlessly. I blocked her number, her iMessage, everything. I instructed security at my office not to let her in. I moved to a new apartment. I told all my friends not to give her any information about me. They all readily agreed. I was doing to her exactly what she had done to me. 2 months later, she still managed to find me, cornering me outside a coffee shop. I turned to leave, but she grabbed my arm, her eyes red and desperate. "Noah, you blocked me. I've been looking for you for so long. I thought I'd never see you again." I laughed. I learned from a best. Disappear overnight, a blindside breakup. That was your move. Pain flashed in her eyes. "Noah, I don't want to break up. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were really depressed, that you really tried to kill yourself. I honestly thought you were lying to manipulate me. That's why I said those horrible things." I looked at her coldly. "Now we're even. You've experienced what I went through, and you know very well I have no feelings left for you. Stop harassing me." I yanked my arm free and walked away without looking back. Leo spread the news of our breakup immediately. He told me several women had asked him to introduce them to me that very night. "I was worried you'd actually fallen for it again, that you'd go back to being her simp. I'm genuinely relieved you're done with her," he said. I clinked my glass against his. She called me a pathetic, clingy bug. You think I'd go back for more of that? Sometime later, on my birthday, a text message popped up right at midnight. It was from Chloe. I suddenly remembered this was the 3rd year in a row she had sent me a birthday wish at exactly midnight. I texted her back. "The roses are in bloom. Want to go see them with me?" She replied instantly. Yes. The last I heard of Anna was through the ever-resourceful Leo. He told me she had gotten entangled with Ethan again. But she wasn't the only one. Ethan was also involved with several wealthy older women. Because they had more money, Anna could never be his one and only. The messy situation infuriated one of the women. She had people confront Anna, humiliating and beating her. In a fit of rage and shame, Anna drove her car into the group. The result was catastrophic. Ethan lost both his legs, and Anna was facing several years in prison. The turn of events was beyond anything I could have imagined. It was not a dignified end. All I can say is that it's a shame. Tonight, I have dinner plans with Chloe. There's no more time to think about Anna. The world is full of beautiful scenery, and there are still so many wonders waiting for me to discover.